And hello, everyone, and welcome into Insider Gaming Weekly, a video game podcast. Of course, I am one of your hosts, Senior Editor Mike Straw, joined, as always, by my co-senior editor, Grant Taylor Hill, senior producer, A to the P, Albert Perkins, and the Gong Lord himself, Tom Henderson. After a week of me and AP holding it down, Tom and Grant are back from Germany and Gamescom, and we'll get into Gamescom more shortly. But first, guys, how you doing? How you feeling?
Good, man. I wish I was back at Gamescom. That was an incredible week. You know, we now count the days down till the next one. You know, which we are
like
actually
you guys
doing.
have a great time.
Which we are actually doing, yeah.
You know what I see on socials, people already booking their hotels and stuff.
Yeah, I did.
Wow.
I'll admit I did look as well because it's so much cheaper. It turns out if you book it 3 weeks before you go, it's quite expensive. So we're
Yeah,
not
it
gonna
can
do that
be.
this time.
Hey, you know what was nice? Because I couldn't make it, obviously seeing the chat, there were too many people, not enough room, so you had that room extra.
Nah,
It
but
came in clutch.
Didn't work out like you think it did.
There was enough rooms, but if you watch Grant's video from Gamescom, you'll see that there was a big privacy problem with the bathroom literally just being a
I
glass
saw that
window.
vlog,
So
man.
you could see everything if someone decided to go to the shower or the toilet. So it did work out.
Yeah, bathroom was just a glass cube in the corner of the room with like a little curtain around it. So if me and Greg had ended up needing to bunk, which it was looking very likely, we would have had zero privacy from each other.
You guys would have been really to know each other.
We've been friends for a long time, but not that long.
Not
Hey
long
man,
enough to
explore
where...
that relationship. You know what I'm saying?
What happens in Gamescom
Stays in Gamescom.
Oh dear!
I love it.
3 minutes in, we already got unsavory.
we're already into the smut for Grant. Gamescom.
Oh man!
But as always, this is Insider Gaming Weekly, a video game podcast coming to you live every Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern time on YouTube and on demand on all audio platforms and YouTube after the show, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. If you're listening to us after the fact, please leave us a 5-star rating. It helps us. And if you're watching us live, like and subscribe to the channel as we make a continued push to grow our video content side. Now, before getting into the news, we have news of the Gamescom recap, Ubisoft selling rights to IPs away, Black Ops 6 already beating Battlefield, or Black Ops 7, already beating Battlefield 6, that's caused a lot of debate and hilarious reactions online. And more PS6 handheld rumors. But first, we will start it with what everybody likes to talk about. It gets the conversation going. What have you been playing, AP? We're going to start with you.
Kicking it off with me this week, huh? Oh man, I'm still holding it down with all these sports games, man. It's like sports game season for me right now. I guess the calm before the storm, before Battlefield 6 drops and everything. But I've been playing a lot of NHL 24. I've been going with my Be a Pro mode. I said it right this week, Mike. Look at that. I'm on a roll here. No, I've been playing that. It's been going pretty well. I'm on LA Kings, and I don't know. We're just above 500, so it's every single game's like a challenge, you know. So that's going pretty well. And then what else have I been playing? Oh, of course, college football. That's been going pretty great. Started doing a lot better in that as well. Not going to make the college football playoffs, but I did qualify for a bowl game and everything. So that's looking pretty good. And look forward to seeing how things are going to go next season for the Crimson Tide. So,
Grant, how about you? Have you dove into anything since you've been home, or has it just been head down? Work.
A little bit, yeah. Some expected, some not so expected. So expected is right now over there, the other side of the room on the TV on pause is Metal Gear Solid Delta.
nice.
Which is so obvious, man. I've said many a time, Metal Gear Solid 3 is like T3 for me. I absolutely adore that game. And I last completed it probably like a good decade ago. So I'm happy to say that I'm very much enjoying the comeback. I'm playing it on the new version, not the classic. So I've got the third person like perspective, which is the purists might say it's the wrong way to do it, but I'm enjoying it. It's a fresh take and I'm really liking it. So that was the expected. The unexpected is, for some reason, a few days ago, I found myself playing RoboCop Rogue City.
No,
Do not know why, right? It was on Game Pass and I was looking for a shooter and I was under the impression it was just like an absolutely mindless shooter that you just go in, you shoot people, and their heads pop, and that's basically it. And I didn't realize it was actually a bit deeper than that. Like, you've got skill paths and side missions to do, and these semi-open environments, and it looks gorgeous. And I'm actually, despite not having a single clue about RoboCop as an IP, despite never having seen a RoboCop movie, I'm actually really enjoying RoboCop Rogue City. So that's basically been me for the last like X amount of time since getting back from Gamescom. Weird combination, but there we are.
Tom, what about you?
Oh, nothing much outside of Gamescom, as to be expected. I have just started playing Balatro again, which I admittedly did get back into through Gamescom because I played it on the plane on the way there and back, and I'm just addicted again. So I'm just going to be playing this now until Battlefield 6 comes along.
Battlefield 6 is never coming. No, I'm kidding.
I'm glad the memes are over with.
For now. For now.
Yeah.
You got a month, a little over a month before it launches. Me, I've been back into Balatro too. Like last night, I was just playing before we went on the air. I stayed up until about 2 a.m. playing it on the Steam Deck. It is a perfect game for the Steam Deck.
Man,
nice.
nice.
I've been playing Slay the Spire for weeks now, back on that. Really praying for more Slay the Spire 2 news. And then playing, kind of bouncing around. I have such a backlog. I'm trying to find something that grabs me. So I'll install a game, play it for 45 minutes to an hour, and then see if this is something I want to sink my teeth into. No, because there's no point, because come this time next week, I'm going on a sabbatical because a week from today is the biggest release and the highest anticipated release of all time in Hollow Knight Silksong is finally here, and I will be useless.
Lock it in.
I can't wait. The only thing I haven't decided is, what am I going to buy it on? Am I going to buy it to play on the Steam Deck, or am I going to buy it to play on the Switch? I don't know. Probably the Steam Deck, just because my kid will never be able to play the Switch again.
I don't know what it is, man. When the trailer came on at Gamescom opening night live, we were sitting like a couple of rows back from someone, and it was this girl who had like, what's the character? The character with looks like a bunny or something.
The main character is Silksong Hornet.
Yeah, whatever. She had like a plushie version, and the trailer was playing, and she was like whooping and like swinging it around in the air when the trailer was playing. I was like, you are way too excited for a game I know absolutely nothing about. I was like, I can't fathom. And all it was the trailer was like, that little character jumping across the little, and I was like, I mean, it doesn't look like it's obviously there's some weird
game.
Yeah, there's some weird
Get out of
following
here.
around.
Get out of here, you son of no.
I mean, it did.
It triggers me.
I couldn't.
It does. It looks like a mobile game.
Could not see adoration for it.
Deeper than any game that launches this year. Grant hates fun. Exactly.
I do hate fun.
Grant hates
I
fun.
Couldn't tell you. I could not tell you what's it to me.
I can't wait for that. And the fact that they knew what was going to come right after was going to be such a disappointment that they had to start off opening night live. We talked about it last week with the best game possible, which was Silksong, was the first game shown during the main show.
No, bro. Before that, they had Bubsy 4D. What are you talking about?
I was just going to talk about that. I said the first game of the main show. Listen, learn to listen.
See, but we're great minds, man. We're connected. I know exactly where you're going.
I was going to get to it because we have Gamescom to talk about, and you and Tom's time there. But the fact, I had a mini rant last week about it, but now you're here too. The fact that the very first game of the night was damn Bubsy 4D.
You want to know what happened, though? That got the biggest reaction out of me. Just because of you, it came up, and I was literally sitting in the queue, sitting in the row of seats, and it came up, and I was literally like, Mike, and I literally got on my phone and I was pinging you. I was like, Mike, Bubsy. And it was after that, I just sat back and I was bored with everything else that came after that. You know,
will I play it? You're damn right, because it's Bubsy. I enjoyed, for as bad as they were and broken as they were, the Bubsy 2D platformers from the SNES. I enjoyed so much. Bubsy 3D could rot for all I care. Ben Studio's not making Bubsy 4D, so it has hope. But that's for another time. Gamescom. You guys were there for about a week. Opening night live at the hall. Played dozens of games as a team. Wrote a number of previews, all of which will be in the link in the description to our Gamescom hub. And you can check them out at insider-gaming.com. But what were your, a very high level, general thoughts of this year's event? Especially because it was the biggest one in the history of Gamescom.
You know what it meant as well, because it was the biggest. Also meant it was the busiest. And my God, was it sweaty in there. There were moments where you'd be in the corridor. You couldn't go forward. You couldn't go back. You couldn't go left, right. You were just wedged in a crowd of people, slowly shuffling forwards as one. Like, it was crazy. You'd go past booths and you'd see signs saying, like, the queue from here is 2 hours. You know, and people were sitting all over the floor everywhere. And it was honestly the busiest place I've ever been in my entire life. It was unreal. But saying that, like, it was, the biggest they've ever done. Like, the halls were crazy. The set pieces were way more ambitious than they were last year. You had representation from absolutely everyone. Like, I think Xbox was toned down a bit because they had less, but they were obviously... They had like half a hall to themselves, and the big players took over so much space. And oh man, the indie sections, the business area was popping. The cosplayers were everywhere. You know, it was absolutely just, it was ham, man. It was absolutely I bumped into this guy who was with another outlet. He was with a German outlet, and he was saying how his team is there from like 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. every day. And he's like, that still isn't enough time to see and do everything. And I'm like, you're telling me, right? It's crazy. Well, it depends if by everything you mean everything. Like, if you're going to play every game, if you're going to do every activation, if you're going to look at every,
if you have to wait in the queue.
Yeah,
true. Yeah. Most of the time you're waiting in line.
That's it. I waited 45 minutes to play a game that I have a preview of, Crisis X. It was basically dubbed as being the day before 2, because it was like, it looked one of those like too good to be true kind of games. It's absolutely enormous open world that's like 5 times the size of DayZ's world, and it has like base building and crafting and multiplayer, and it's free, and it's crazy, and all these elements, and it's from a developer you've never heard of, and I was like, I need to play this for myself. So I queued for 45 minutes. It was absolutely awful, and it had a massive booth. I have no idea how. So that was great. That was one of my queuing experiences.
Don't you love that, Grant?
I absolutely did. Yeah, it was really good. But I think Tom can like back me up in saying that genuinely, like, the atmosphere was just electric. Like, it was busy as hell, but it was so like energetic, man. It was nonstop the whole time.
Oh, man, that's a good vibe.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because obviously I went to GDC and DICE earlier this year, and people was a bit down, and you know the future wasn't looking too bright, and so on and so forth. But this time around, there was a lot more optimism, in my opinion. Everyone seemed quite positive about the future of games, which is obviously always a good thing to hear, right? And yeah, there was just, it felt a lot more fuller. Obviously, there was a lot more people. I can't remember what numbers they said, but I think
about 400,000. I think it was. Or something.
Just crazy, man. Yeah, and I think on the B2B side, there might have been 1 or 2 extra holes. I can't remember, because this time there was like 4 or 5 holes. And yeah, overall it was just good. Like, obviously, as the media, I would really like them to kind of go back to the old ways where you would get the Wednesday and the Thursday just for the industry, because now it's so commercialized. I think this time it was only 4 hours, right, that we got access to. It was open 9 till 1. 10 till 1. So 3 hours, and then it was just opened up to to the masses, and you could just see people running from the entrance all the way to. I think a lot of people was running to Silksong, which I found a little bit strange because then I think it was the same day or the day later they announced the release date.
Yeah, it was it was a couple days later, the Thursday they announced.
Yeah. And Andy, our senior Evergreens editor, he queued up 2.5 hours to play that. And then, a few hours later, it was announced that it was going to be released in 2 weeks. But yeah, we'll get into that later. But yeah, overall, really, really good experience. Obviously, Insider Gaming had a massive representation there. I think there was 14 of us in total. And it was just madness. Like, just trying to herd everyone together was just a complete ball ache. But
yeah, it's basically it feels like you'd literally need an IG Wrangler.
Yeah. I mean, like if you think Summer Games Fest was bad with Albert coming down late, like this time it was 10 times worse.
I love how you just casually do it, Tom. It just casually just rolls right off the top.
Albert came late. Grant just no show.
No, man, I'm
getting into arguments at hotels.
I was the guy waiting for people. I was sitting outside in the car in a place where I couldn't park, and I'm like, "Come on!" I was like, "Like 25-minute wait for people to come downstairs."
Like this time around, I was like, I can't remember. It might have been the day that we was leaving. I was right. Everyone meet at 8 a.m. down, and we'll get breakfast and say our goodbyes. I'm sat there at 10 to 8, 8:30. No one's there, so I just go back up to the room and. Just leave everyone to it. But it was just, apart from that, like, it was just a fantastic event all around. And
the opportunities were crazy as well. We had, I think, I already said about all the stuff with all the team, all their coverage. Like, I had some really, really good fortune. Getting to sit down with Randy Pitchford was cool enough. Like we got 20 minutes with him, and he was more than willing to divulge all and sundry about Borderlands 4. But I also, I sat down with the Dying Light, the Beast guys, the game director, and that was really, really insightful because that's one of my most anticipated games of the year. I think the coolest thing was I went on the hunt for the leads of GTA 5 because I knew they were going to be there. I knew they were with Asus. And I went to their booth and I saw them and I went up to them and I was like, "Excuse me," I was all like, "Oh, I played your game for the last decade." So everybody else. Literally, that's what it was, man. And so I said to them, I was like, "Look, I know you guys are busy. Can we get 5 minutes inside of gaming? We'll just run you guys through some questions." And it was pretty off the cuff. And they agreed, and we were like, "Cool." And it was great because they're such nice guys. It was the guys that played Michael and Franklin, way back when. Now we're talking almost 15 years ago. But they're still such crowd pullers. It's crazy. So we were standing next to the ROG booth, and I was interviewing them. We had Greg on the camera. I had the microphone standing between them. We're cracking jokes about lines from the games and stuff. Talking about Young Melee, who's Carl Johnson, joining them on like tours and stuff now, and it was really, really good. And then I didn't realize it, but when we started talking, it was just us. When we finished talking, we had a ring around us.
That's amazing.
People all came because they were like, "Who's being interviewed over there?" Oh my God, it's, and I was just like, I didn't even see them until I was out of the zone. And I was like, "Oh, that's a lot of people."
That's badass. That's good. Probably a good thing you didn't.
You go up to each and every one of them. Hand them a business card so you can find the interview on InsiderGaming.com.
Well, I mean, I've had enough business
Look at you pushing business, Mike.
There was a crowd of them, but it was genuine. I mean, obviously we had the microphone and stuff, and they could have seen if they tried hard enough. But it was so cool to talk to those guys, and just shoot it with them. That's the kind of thing that happens at Gamescom. Because we went with a couple of guys who potentially weren't as experienced in that area, and they were almost like a deer in headlights at just the scope of it. And we said, if you see anyone and you think they would be really cool to talk to, shoot your shot, man. I went there with potential questions in my book for like Sarah Bond, Phil Spencer, Todd Howard, because you never know who you're going to see at these things, man. You never know.
Yeah, you never know who's going to make fun of you and tease you for being bad at a card game.
Exactly. You could just bump into him somewhere, and actually, didn't he help you win the game?
I think he gave me that motivation to prove him wrong.
Yeah, you had the Phil Spencer buff. But that's what I mean. Like, you never know who you're going to walk into, so it's great, man. Take every opportunity possible when you're going to place that Gamescom.
No. And someone brought up in the chat, Summer Games Fest and Gamescom like combined is the new E3 season. Yeah, I think Gamescom has turned into the replacement for E3, whether people want to say it is or not.
Yeah,
like
I don't think that's a debate. I don't think you can realistically
look at
that.
That try and say, and I think it's that whole bias of what E3 was for so long. Like clinging to the memory of what it was.
How long was E3 going for? Like almost 20 years.
96 was the first one, so yeah.
So I mean, the Gamescom's getting up there. I think it's a decade.
I obviously, like people in America as well, because of the travel distance and they can't make it out. They just don't understand the scale of Gamescom. Gamescom is by far the biggest event now, like by a significant margin as well.
Not even close.
Yeah, so like to put it in perspective, Summer Games Fest was one hall, and Gamescom had, was it 12, Grant?
Yeah, something like that, and outside areas too. And
I mean, Summer Games Fest was more than one. It had one main and a bunch of side ones.
What you have to think about is
it was
Gamescom,
one small block.
Gamescom is a city-wide event. Like you have things that pop up all over the city. You have companies doing like offshoots of parties, and if like I went off-site for one of my previews, I had to go to a hotel down the road. You have the Gamescom at the city festival that they do. You get like you walk into like any hotel, any store or whatever, and they say, "Oh, what you in city? Are you here for Gamescom?" Like everyone knows Gamescom. It's on the signs when you're driving into the city. It is an absolute takeover. So it's genuinely, there's nothing bigger.
Bro, the way you describe it, like the vibe and everything, it honestly kind of reminds me of like how E3 was back in the day.
Yeah, genuinely. You'll walk down at the after, you'll walk through like the area with like pubs and restaurants. Everyone's got branded t-shirts on. Everyone's from a company. Everyone's like a gamer. You'll walk into like a random store, gamers. You'll walk into your hotel, get in the elevator, gamer walks in. Like it's a takeover, man. It's crazy.
Oh,
yeah, I do agree in a way. Like the one thing I love, granted, I wasn't there this year, but the one thing I loved about Summer Games Fest is it brought me to back like my first couple E3s. Is that
it helps you like one block away from where they used to hold it.
But it was media. Like it was just industry people. Like and it just makes it so much easier to set things up, to talk to people, talk to colleagues, to talk to studios.
Yeah.
Like when I was in Boston for PAX, they gave you, like you guys said you had 3 hours of
that's it.
window.
Yeah.
They gave PAX 1 hour.
Jeez, man.
They gave us 1 hour on opening day, and basically I got to talk with 2 people.
Yeah, that's
enough time. That was the beauty of Summer Games Fest. Yeah,
like it's one of those things. It feels like you could get overwhelmed because you feel like you have to rush, especially at that beginning. You have to rush and like I got to try and get the biggest stuff I can from the people who are going to be the most sought after.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it kind of that's all they gave. It is what it is. I mean, it worked, but the commercial side of things, I mean, they got to make their money back somehow, right? Like that's just the nature of the beast.
Mm-hmm.
And they do make it charging €5 per bottle of water. They do make it back.
Yeah, that type of stuff. Yeah, like that at PAX, they had so many water fountains to where you just go up and fill your bottle.
Oh yeah, they were.
So it's one of those things of that's one thing I don't believe in, charging for water. Like here, you can go to any place and ask, "Hey, I just need a cup of water," and they'll just give you a cup of water.
Yeah.
So, but like it just seemed like from everything that was there, it was a madhouse from the videos, from the pictures. Yeah. But the amount of stuff that you guys were able to bring back, even Tom got in on the preview game.
Yeah, man. Like, I think it was a turning point for us as an outlet as well. Like, admittedly, I mean, like we've done some pretty naughty stuff since the start. Like, whatever. But I guess the point of these events for us as well is to show people that we're not the bad guys. I guess,
man.
And I don't know, like. Although, yeah, right.
I do think that's why I wasn't included on the COD pod because I said.
Well, I mean, I think it was down to something that you said.
Okay, so for you guys, right? I know there's a guy, Miles Ross. I know him from like the Call of Duty League, and I bump into him at these events, and we ran into each other at Gamescom. And we're out a chat, and he's like, "Hey, you guys want to be on the COD pod?" Because it was me and Greg, and it's just the official Call of Duty podcast. They're going around Gamescom talking to fans and stuff. And we were like, yeah, of course. So they get us in, they do whatever. They get the camera, and it's a proper, big camera, lighting, microphones. It's a full job. We have to sign waivers and stuff. They say to Greg, what do you think about it? Greg's gassing it up. He's loving it. He says this is just a teaser for,
Sure.
everything they're going to reveal. And it's so exciting. And I'm like, I'm not a fan, really. And then, I bag on it saying I don't like all the psychosis stuff and I prefer boots on the ground. And they're like,
they weren't including that at all.
Yeah, exactly. I think that was the issue.
Yeah. And then they were like, who are you? Introduce yourselves. And Greg was just like, I'm Greg. And then I was like, I'm Grant Taylor Hill with Insider Gaming. And they were probably like, get him off. Straight
I'm happy you did that rather than glazed him like a Krispy Kreme donut. But
yeah, that wasn't going to happen. Yeah.
They
specifically said, do not mention Battlefield. They specifically said that.
Wow. Yeah. And we'll talk about that soon, too.
They did, yeah.
I'm old Greg. Fuzzy Muffin, God. I love the Mighty Boosh so much.
I'm old Greg. I've got some Baileys in the fridge, actually.
Someone brought up, there were games that were there that people expected to see, some they weren't. One of the games that got a lot of talk, and I don't think anybody from the team played, was Elden Ring on Switch. But based on everything, I mean, even the people who there's a reason. Everybody said it. You couldn't show gameplay because it looked and played so poorly.
Did you see the clips that people did get though? It was really funny. There was a clip where it was really weird. They were fighting a boss. Don't ask me which, because I do not know Elden Ring at all. But as they swung their weapon and the boss kind of moved, it was it went from being fluid swings to when they swung it, it was and it just went slow motion and it was it was going down to 1 frame per second. It was so bizarre. It was moving in slow. It was so strange, man.
Man, if they know a game is performing that bad, then why even show it off?
Yeah,
at a show like that.
Idea.
That's just, it's low key embarrassing.
I think it'd be worse, to be honest, if they were never mind, we don't have it.
That's true too. Yeah.
So I mean, they got time before release. They got plenty of time. I don't even think they have a set date.
They just got to slap a disclaimer on that thing. This is pre-release. This is in testing, whatever. Because we had that. I went to previews and they're all bearing in mind what you're seeing is alpha, so you're gonna get bugs. And we're like, okay, because I saw Blood of Dawnwalker, which is basically The Witcher with vampires. It's so Witcher coded, it's unreal from the UI to the combat to the music. Doesn't help it's made by a former team of Witcher devs. But it was really funny. There was one scene where the guy chopped off someone's head, and the head just kind of wheeled away like it was a balloon or something. It was funny. Everyone just started laughing at that shit. It was so good, man.
Before we move on, was there anything that surprised you about what you guys saw or played during your time there, that maybe, whether it was the interest in it from fans, you're going in maybe not too excited, finding out you were excited, or anything like that?
Yeah, I've got one. World of Tanks Heat, which is the competitive hero shooter kind of World of Tanks thing that they've got going on. I don't know. I played it. I was one of the first people to play it, outside of QA and playtesters and all that stuff. And it just played really well. I mean, I'm a sucker for World of Tanks and World of Warships. I like the hardcore element of, having to aim it at specific areas of the tank to get to penetrate the armor and all that stuff. And all of that stuff is in World of Tanks Heat, but it's just made to be a lot more accessible to to especially the younger audience. And at the same time, I'm all for games that educate as well, which is always a good thing. So I mean, Grant, more than anyone that I'm a sucker for World War II history.
Oh man, tanks alone. Yeah. You say hero shooter. How does it work? They categorize tanks as various you have your tanks and your support and your DPS.
No, yeah. So the drivers are the support, are the heroes. So the drivers are the tanks are the heroes.
Oh, okay.
And each hero is assigned to a specific tank, and then obviously you can unlock another tank through progression. They said they'll add more tanks at a later date, but essentially, like, how it was worded to me is that hero has like customized their own tank. So like I can't remember how exactly they described it, but it's set in like an alternate universe where you can slap on rockets on the side of a tank, or you can slap on like a long range, beefed up sniper rifle or whatever to do that support role.
Okay, because the way I thought it would work would like you'd have like your Tiger and whatever would be like the big, I'm just comparing it to other heroes like Marvel rifles. That would be your Hulk, and then you'd have like your little.
I'm not
like you. I don't know the names of tanks.
Yeah, it kind of is as well. Like, the Tiger, because obviously it was hard to take down tank in World War II. It kind of, you have to go around the back of it and shoot it in the back. And I think a good analogy.
Man, we all saw Fury.
This is the thing. Like, I did actually come up against a Tiger tank in the game. And within Need for Speed Heat, there's like, again, because it's like this alternate universe.
Need for Speed Heat?
Not Need for Speed. World of Tanks Heat. Why I said that is because of the boosting on the tanks.
Oh, okay.
So there's like a boost.
Oh, they have NOS on them now.
Yeah. So like there was a situation where there was this Tiger tank trying to shoot me, obviously head on, and I had to get around the back. So I'm like boosting around it and doing circles, and its turret couldn't keep up with me, and I just kept on peppering it in the back, and it was
that sounds like good fun though, to be honest. Is it generational? Like, is it modern tanks, or is it they're starting out with like a certain
I think it's a bit of everything. Yeah, it's a bit of everything because they're describing it as like an alternate universe, so it gives them that creative.
Do whatever they want. Yeah, that's it, man. Yeah. That sounds like a win, to be fair.
Yeah, especially after Steel Hunters. Obviously, that didn't go well for them, and that failed. So yeah, I think it's I think they're on to a winner. To be honest, I'm looking forward to it.
What about free to play?
Yes, it's free to play.
Yeah, it's a winner. What about me? What?
Anything that surprised you? Anything that surprised you or stood out the most?
Maybe I'd say maybe Borderlands 4, because it's only the last few weeks that my wife and I have been playing the Borderlands franchise, right? So up until like a month ago, I didn't really know too much about it, and I went into Borderlands 4 having just experienced Borderlands 3. So I thought it'd be more of the same of that. And it wasn't. It's like this absolutely enormous open world. The movement has evolved like tenfold over Borderlands 3. The visuals are crazy. The gunplay is nuts. And speaking to Randy Pitchford and having him gas it up and then going to play it myself was like the perfect way to experience it, because he talked a big game and then the game backed up what he'd said. And I was like, that guy wasn't even marketing. This game is fan. And he was like, it's the most ambitious game they've ever made. They've poured community feedback into it, and they've innovated in every way possible. And I'm literally playing it, and I'm like, you can see it, man. And I came away from that. I had like an hour's playtest with a hero who was being demoed. Not a hero. It's because of you, that Tom. Vault Hunter. So it was like the first time that Vault Hunter was playable was media at Gamescom. So I was really early on. This is like my first day, and I loved it. They had to like drag me off that thing, man. The gameplay, my raw gameplay is actually available on Insider Gaming's YouTube channel as well. So you can see me playing as Harlow in the big open world of Kairos for like 40 minutes or something. But it was so good, man. Really took me by surprise.
My favorite part of watching your gameplay is because everybody plays that way. You played the game how people play these games. Not
I wasn't walking around like slowly.
While we talk about that. But when they were giving you the motorcycle or the bike at the beginning,
I was early on.
Yeah, no, they're explaining it to you. You're just knocking things over, looting, looking for things like, yeah, whatever. I don't care.
Man.
What kind of this? And I'm just like, that's how they play. And that's how you should play.
And it's really diverse too, because the segment, they said you can either do this like raid mission where you fight a specific boss, or you can go into the open world. And I'm like, I'm going into the open world, right? And I just tried to soak up as much as I could in the time that I had, like to the point where I played for a bit with the controller and I got the feel of it. And then I switched to keyboard and mouse to see how it felt on that. And it genuinely was really, really great and accessible. And it was just so fluid and so enjoyable. Like the gunplay is just next level. It's so entertaining that I can't wait for it to drop, because my wife and I are going to co-op that as well. And it's been designed to be like the perfect multiplayer game, and I can see how, you know, the Vault Hunters really do complement each other quite nicely. So I really can't wait to get back into it.
Before we get into topic number 2, a reminder: if you're watching, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel to help us. If you want, every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern, we have the Insider Gaming newsletter that goes live, exclusive columns, upcoming release dates, a recap of the news, guides you need to know, our shows, our videos, everything. Insider-gaming.com/subscribe. Also, if you want to guarantee your question gets read, there are questions, trying to find a place for them during the appropriate topic. But if you want to guarantee your question gets read, consider leaving a super chat. You never have to pay to watch the show or listen to the show, but it does help us. Topic number 2. Ubisoft is selling rights to classic IPs. Some will call classic, but to their IPs. They sold a number of games, the rights to Atari, 5 in total: Cold Fear, I Am Alive, Child of Eden, Grow Home, and Grow Up. And it was met with a lot of positive reaction, a lot from fans, because they're dormant games that'll get re-released, and maybe new games in those series down the line, who knows. But it had me wondering, is this something studios should do more often? IPs that aren't being touched, are just sitting there dormant, like I said, sell the rights to another publisher or another developer, and let's see what they can do with it.
I love it. I love the idea, because look, they're just sitting there. They're not earning anything, right? They're just forgotten franchises that folks haven't dove into unless they're playing the old school version of that game. This brings new life to the franchises, and they get an opportunity to play through, new iterations of it. And I absolutely love the idea of the fact that they're doing this. And I hope I'm with you. I kind of would love to see the idea of this happening more often, especially, with IPs that are more, I guess, well known. I like the idea, Mike.
What about you, Tom?
It's a difficult one, because with these particular franchises, IPs that they bought, I don't really care.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, even now, right? Like, going back to the book that I've mentioned, I've been working on, like Deus Ex. Deus Ex is a game that has been canned 2 or 3 times now. The recent one, by all accounts, was going extremely well. I know it's just left on the cutting room floor, and there is literally nothing that is going to be done with it from what I can tell. And I really would like someone to scoop that franchise up, and probably the same for a lot of other franchises that are dormant at the moment. But at the same time, I've also got to remember that just because they have been purchased, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are going to be used. I mean, obviously, from a business perspective, they've just bought them for who knows how much, maybe a couple of mil or whatever. So they probably do want to do something with them. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that they are going to do something with them. So just bear that in mind.
No, but I do think, I wonder, because if it's been done once already, what, and depending on what comes of it, if they do something, say, with, I'm Alive or Grow Home, Grow Up, and it turns around and they put out a game that's popular or that becomes beloved, whatever, will this lead to more studios deciding to sell off the rights to IPs that they're just not going to touch anymore? Because we can probably come up with at least a dozen IPs that we haven't seen a game in 15 years or so, 10, 15 years, that we would love to see something, but we know from that studio it's likely not going to happen. Like we talked about it before, Medal of Honor. What about I mean, this is just, speculation because it's a game we've talked about wanting to see come back.
Mm-hmm.
EA selling off the Medal of Honor rights to a studio and letting them run with it and see what they can do. Because it's not a series that's been touched in a decade. There doesn't seem like there's plans for it to return.
Boom. Sorry.
What the hell was that?
I'm playing Balatro as we're playing. And I just got,
my God.
I just got
grinding Balatro whilst we're trying to record.
Yeah, I just
Oh
got.
my god!
But I'm on a generational start. I just got Blueprint with 1 point times X mult on it, and then I've just duplicated it and I'm on round 1.
Bro, if that's
insane.
the rules, I'm turning around and continuing Metal Gear Delta, man. That's crazy.
Yeah,
bro.
but the difference
Get on
is
board
I
with
can
it.
just sit here and relax because I'm not on webcam. We can't have your back
Jesus.
of your head.
Man.
Not all of us have the luxury of not showing our faces on screen. There goes Grant. He's gone.
I am still here talking and contributing to the podcast.
This is how professional these people are. It was a much more professional show last week.
It was. Yeah, we held it down, Mike.
We did. POP, hold it down. Come out of nowhere. Boom. Completely threw the show off the rails.
That's great, man.
It's going to be embarrassing if I don't do something with this run now, though.
If you don't,
Right, I'm gonna-
if you don't win, if you don't get it through all 8, you're done.
I'll get through all 8. I usually do.
Nope.
Right, I've closed it off just so there's no more booms.
The boom. The boom is what made it. The clap. I don't know if you clapped or snapped or
I
what.
think
Just
it's-
like
Yeah.
I think I double clicked my fingers and boom.
I glanced up. I looked at Mike. I was like, "What the hell is that? What is he saying?"
Oh man,
So good.
but yeah, old IPs. Yeah, I mean,
could this be something that turns into the future rather than come up with new ones? Studios just go, let me see if I can get the rights to X.
yeah,
like that,
probably.
man.
I
Could
think
be the next big thing. Maybe
Yeah,
after all these remakes, right? You know?
Well, I was just going to say, I think the disaster that Sony has had recently with the live service pivot and stuff, and now we're seeing quite a lot of people go into the remake and capitalize on nostalgia. It probably makes sense that we see a lot more of this. But then it just comes down to the individual publisher, right? Like, if there's interest in their IP that they own, then they're probably looking at it thinking, well, maybe we should just do something with it instead.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
There's stacks
It's
I'd like to see.
interesting.
Loads I'd like to see, man. Mostly like old PlayStation era games that were never, that were abandoned or that had something in the works that fizzled out. Like I always talk about Killzone. I'd love to see
Look at it.
Killzone come
As
back.
soon as you
somewhere.
said Killzone, it
Literally,
that's
yep,
weird.
I saw
as
that.
soon as you
That's
said
weird.
it, your burner account posted
Strange,
it.
man.
Burner account.
No, I always say Killzone, man. I mourn the death of that game, but there was a game on the PS2 set in London called The Getaway. That was so cool. There was a game called Psyops, which I loved, which was like mind powers and stuff. That was neat. There was the one-shot shooter Black from EA that was phenomenal. That was really good. Mercenaries was great. That came out on Xbox 360. They had another release that kind of flopped. Siphon Filter. I keep going on about Ben to make another Siphon Filter.
I was going to say, no Siphon Filter. Nice. Well, maybe it'll be good because it's not Ben
They'll be
building
giving it away. They'll be giving it exactly, and like how many times do people ask for some sort of revitalization of the Simpsons hit and run, man?
Yeah.
Something like that,
There you go.
There's plenty out
It's
there.
like I was going to say, I want PlayStation to do something with The Last of Us. Like they've not done anything with that in a long time.
I asked Neil Druckmann in LA, and I was like, bro, The Last of Us, what are we saying, man? He was just like, oh, we're really busy with the show. I'm like, shit,
Really
man,
busy.
Come on, man.
I
He left.
I'm immediately games that came to my mind were a Spyro, like those. Like I think back to the 90s, 2000s, early 2000s. A Spyro game. I'd like to see Driver, that franchise, make an update.
Oh, Driver,
make a
man.
return.
Man.
Burnout.
You know what?
Burnout.
I was
Burnout.
gonna mention Burnout, dude.
There was a spiritual successor. I think it was called Dangerous Driving.
Yeah, how'd that do?
It didn't do well performance-wise. The game was fun, but what they did is they split the people who had worked on Burnout, made 2 separate games. There was a racing version of what Burnout was, inspired by Burnout 3, and then there was the Crash version, rather than just one game. So it kind of got
I see.
Midnight Club was another one. There's so many that that would come. Alley Cat with the $5 super chat, and he's doing it to troll me. Thank you very much. Any UFC 6 updates? Thank you. Thanks for all you guys do. He's doing this because he is tuned into my personal shows, and he can attest. Every damn comment is UFC 6. UFC 6. Where's Fight Night? What about UFC? Where's Fight Night? Is UFC here? Fight Night? Like, just, and he knows. He knows when things are ready to be announced or when there's something, it'll be on Insider Gaming. He's doing it to literally to troll me because he's a great jerk.
It's gaslighting.
We appreciate it though.
Who remembers on PS2? Because we were just talking about this one. Who remembers on PS2 Driver Parallel Lines? Who remembers that one? We're talking about driver games. Underrated, went under the wire. Bro, I'm telling you, it was so good, and it was so like ahead of its time. It like starts in the 1970s, and you're like the wheelman, you know, and then you get like framed for a crime. It's a bit more in depth than that, but you get framed for a crime, and then you come out of jail like 20 years later, and the story resumes. But the entire set in like Manhattan, the entire world has changed, and like it's different cars on the street, different, like everything's aged up. And it's so clever the way it does it. It's really cool. You go from like being in the 70s to being in like the 2000s or something. And it's like the switch up is crazy, and it's genuine. It's so good. A big open world game. Like there's some good meat on it. It's really good. It's one of those like cool underrated gems of the series. Like it's neat. It's really cool because like it's those classic scenes when you come out of jail and like, the guy is completely out of tune with society, and like he doesn't recognize like people on their phones and like culture TVs shock. And stuff. Exactly. Like he doesn't know what's going on. Like he's completely his brain is still in the 70s. You know, so cool, man. So cool as a game.
Moving on, because we do have to move on, because this show, I knew there was going to be what we were going to do. I had a feeling. Black Ops 7 versus Battlefield 6. The conversation, the battle that keeps going while Grant goes through gum like nobody's business right now.
Not gum. Also, Tom just muted, then unmuted. He definitely just celebrated something on Balatro.
No. I coughed.
Oh, he coughed. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I just got a high winning round. Yeah, boy.
Yeah, let's go.
Man. We had analyst from Alinea, Reese Elliott, say pretty much that Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is going to beat Battlefield 6 when it comes to sales and player numbers because of habitual purchases. And it's kind of hard to argue. We've talked about that. People are just going to buy it. I mean, look at the sales numbers that just came out from Circana in the US for July. They just released the sales data, and Call of Duty was still a top 5 selling game. Black Ops 6 selling in like games on Game Pass, and it's been in the top 5 every single month. No matter what we say, no matter what anybody online, any media member, pundits, whatever, the people are just going to keep buying this game, wacky skins or not. And I kind of like
he said, like, even if they complain about it, they're going to buy it.
Yeah, like not many people.
It's like, but at the same time, I completely agree. Like, it's going to outsell Battlefield. It just will do. But this, I mean, from a personal level, I think this is going to be the first time in 20 years that I'm not going to buy Call of Duty this year, because I don't know what it is. It just doesn't interest me. I think it's just been.
You're not the only one.
I think it's just the years and years of being run down and beaten up by heavy skill based. I know that's a complete different topic, but just heavy skill based matchmaking, the kind of repetitive nature for the past 5 or 6 years. All they've done for the most part is try to rely on nostalgia as much as possible. We know the DLC is going to consist of loads of more Black Ops 2 maps, and it's just like, I don't know. I think since they moved to this one kind of engine build, since, correct me if I'm wrong, Modern Warfare 2 2019, where now it's, or was it earlier than that?
It might have been earlier.
Modern Warfare 2 was 2022.
Right, Modern Warfare 2019. Yeah. Okay. So every game's just felt the same, and it's just kind of like, I don't know, man. Like I just don't know what they can do now to bring me back. Warzone as well, that's fell off a cliff. I don't know what they're going to do to bring players back to that as well. I thought at one time maybe going down the exosuit route would have been like their only kind of way, because it would have just changed up the entire game, right? But yeah, I don't know, man. Like it is going to outsell Battlefield, but I think that this year it's kind of losing the heart for a lot of people, and people are just going to, I mean, people are probably going to buy both anyway, right? But the majority will buy Call of Duty. So I don't know, like that's where I'm at. And this recent skin carry forward bullshit is just mental as well.
There's no way that wasn't, people are trying to defend it or whatever. There's no way that wasn't a reactionary piece to the to Battlefield saying we're going to keep it realistic, or people complaining about the skins. There's no way it was reactionary.
I mean, even if it was or wasn't, I mean, you said this in your piece, like they did this exact same thing last year, where they said that carry forward isn't going to happen. They're going to tone back all the stupid skins.
They want to keep it authentic to Black Ops.
Yeah, man. Like I even tweeted out like a picture of the pre-order.
Like they're 5 years apart or something.
Yeah, I mean, obviously different universes, different franchises. One could, argue X, Y, and Z, but at the same time, they're both military shooters. Yeah, Call of Duty is a bit more arcadey, but at the same time, you can't look at Black Ops 7's pre-order skins and think they're authentic for 10 years in the future, right? I don't know. Like, I think people have just got used to the kind of goofiness because they've been subject to it for the past 10 plus years.
How much good faith do you think they'd buy from the community if they just went and did what so many people like meme about, and they just put in a feature where you flip a switch and it turns off all the skins? Simple,
I think that would go a long way. I honestly think what could go a long way to getting Call of Duty in the good graces of the people who are frustrated with it is one thing: lobbies. True lobbies. Not like I find a lobby I'm in, unless I leave or disband.
Disbanding lobbies.
Yeah. That would go. If that were to come back in any sort of way, you'd have. I'd say roughly 75% of the people who have problems with Call of Duty, the main problem would go away.
I don't know. Like I think that. Honestly, I do think that Call of Duty needs a break now, like a 1 year break.
I worked for Assassin's Creed.
Yeah,
it honestly did.
Yeah. Like they just need to breathe, and I'm not just talking about from a franchise perspective as well. The developers, even though I can't remember when it was when they changed from the 2 year to the 3 year development cycle, like 2011.
Yeah, something like that. It was around
there. Yeah. And they are still under such immense pressure because now every team is working on every Call of Duty at the same time,
while having layoffs at those studios.
Yeah, and it's just mind-boggling, and I don't know. I just don't think a break would hurt them in any way, but at the same time, it would from a financial perspective because they get like $1 billion in in revenue per Call of Duty, 1 billion plus just from premium sales. But I don't know, man. Like,
there's nothing that would stop them. Like, take a year break, and if they were to release, to be like, in reality, say they announce, we're going to take a year and a half off. We're not releasing a standalone Call of Duty in fall 2026. We know they are, but say they said it. But instead, we're going to take a year off for the full game, and we're just going to give you some sort of beyond, a major update and charge you $20. Game Pass gets it free, $20 to update the game.
I don't even need that though, to be honest. Because I look at it from this perspective, again, right? So I'm big into esports, right? Big into esports, and if you look at all the best games, they're games that have legs, right? Like look at League, Dota, Counter Strike, Rainbow. They're all been around for more than a decade. Well, Valorant, League, Jesus Christ, Rainbow, almost. You look at games like Valorant, like newcomers ish. They've been around 5 years, but it's 5 years, and you get the ecosystem built up, and you get the skill base is better, and they do their live service hoo-ha and whatever, and they update it. The meta changes over time, maps coming in out the pool, whatever. That's cool. But COD is just weird because every single year, every single season, you're watching a whole different game, different maps. The players come in and out. Like 1 year, you might have one player who's trash at a game, and he completely throws his whole season just because he just can't gel with that one COD release. And it's so hard to stay a consistent fan, and that's why Call of Duty is so tough from an esports perspective to really stay engaged with it. It's like if they took a few years and they had one COD game that they just kept updated for a couple years, it would just do it as an experiment. It would do bits in that regard anyway, because knowing that you're watching a game unfold in the Call of Duty League multi-million-dollar tournament. You're watching it for 6 months, and then it's over, and you're onto a whole different game, all new mechanics, all new routes, all new. It's so it's so weird. From imagine if you watched your NFL or something, or your basketball or your tennis, and every year they decided, it's going to be it's going to look completely different. We're going to have different rules. We're going to have different tactics and stuff. And you'd be like, I mean, obviously it does to some extent, but not as much as you do in esports. But it's just crazy. From my perspective, I hate the fact that it's an annual release. Not even from just a consumer perspective, but because of that, coming as from an esports fan perspective, it's so tiring trying to keep up with the ever-changing. I mean, especially with a paradigm shift like this, where we've now got double jumps and invisibility suits and all that kind of crap. I'm like, I can't keep up with this, man. I don't know who the fuck's going to be. Sorry. I don't know who the hell is going to be.
The passion.
Here it comes.
Hey, it happened 58 minutes into the
Bleep
show.
me out.
Yeah,
I don't know who's
unleashed.
going to be good going into the next season. Who's going to... I can't look at any of the players that have just played a season on Black Ops 6 and know who's going to be good in the half jetpack era that we've got coming on Black Ops 7. I don't know. It's tough, man. Whereas I know that year on year, Faker's going to be incredible at League, because it's
I chalk it up to the sports games.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Sports it's the same way. I'm a firm believer in non-annualized titles, and at least from the sports perspective, there's nothing stopping from you don't release an annualized. You just give an update on the off year where it includes updated jerseys, updated
rosters,
updated rosters.
I swear FIFA was going to do that years back, were they not? They were going to.
They were, and then it was in the talks. And when you say years ago, they were in the talks in the mid 2010s about it, and then ultimately really started to become a boom for EA. So more than it already was at that time.
Yeah,
and there was talks of doing it with Madden. Back in the day, there were talks when college football was coming back that it was going to be an every other year. It's just the money says release it every year, and they're going to obviously follow the money. It's just the state of the state of things.
I just want to say one last thing as well. I don't know if anyone agrees with this, but I don't know if it's just because it's Call of Duty as well. But I feel like the live service element doesn't really work for that annual release anymore. I think this is the 6 seasons per Call of Duty now. So every 6 to 8 weeks, there's a new season where they come up with two maps, 2 weapons, 2 fucking perks, a kill streak, a gobble gum in zombies, another zombies map, and it's just like, I don't know. Like, I feel like they could. I honestly feel like Call of Duty could miss a year, and this is going to be a very hot take, but I feel like they could probably bring back map packs and charge for like 5 multiplayer maps and a zombies map and a couple of weapons for $20.
I remember those, man. They were good.
Yeah, and yeah, man.
When did they stop? Like Black Ops 2? I can't remember when they stopped charging for map packs. Was it later?
Later. It was in the PS4 era.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I remember.
Suppose, yeah, it would have been with the uptick in live service, wouldn't it? Yeah, that makes sense.
I feel like it was around Advanced Warfare.
Yeah,
I want to say because then they started using the supply drops, didn't they? But I don't know. Like, it's like Zombies Chronicles 2. Everyone talks about it. They'll get a boatload of revenue for doing that. But I don't know. I just feel like they need a break. Do I feel like Battlefield can compete this year? Yes. It isn't going to do as many sales, but I don't think that it needs to.
Yeah.
I think like it's completely different. Like, yeah, they're both military shooters, but Activision have put in probably, I think, like, do they do like 7 to 8 million, 100 million per Call of Duty now or something like that?
Ridiculous, yeah.
And Battlefield is probably, there was that rumor saying 400 million or whatever. But I mean, let's just say theoretically 500 million. So they probably need to sell 10, 11 million to be profitable. I think they're definitely going to do that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't need to beat Call of Duty.
Yeah, man. That's what I said in the opinion bit in my in the article that I wrote. Where I said I would happily get both. I mean, I'm not gonna pay for Black Ops 7. I'll get it on Game Pass. I'm not a mug. So I was saying like I'll play both and I'll enjoy both for different reasons. I'm sure one I'll play more than the other. I think Battlefield is going to be the one for me this year, but I'm still going to get COD and play COD, and I'm going to do the campaign, and I'll give the multiplayer, a spin around and see what's happening. But it's like it's like the whole console war thing now. Now that's kind of like dead and gone, Yeah. Like you don't have to. There doesn't have to be this like divide between them. Call of Duty fans can play their game just happily. Battlefield fans can play their game just happily. And if at any point either party wants to go over the wire and see what's on the other side, then so be it. Crack on, like it doesn't have to be a case of like, who was it? It was Mike Ibarra, wasn't it? Who came out saying that like Battlefield 6 is going to stomp COD this year. And this guy's like former Blizzard president or something.
Yeah.
And it's like, it doesn't matter though. It doesn't have to. It's not a thing, I
mean, even if it did, like, okay, cool. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, all right, yeah, brilliant.
That's great,
like, Call of Duty
still doesn't mean it failed
next year and do 20 more million sales. So it's like, all right, cool. But I do hope though. I know we didn't put this in Discord, but I do hope that Battlefield doesn't go down the route of doing annual releases. I know there was a rumor. Michael Patcher or whatever he's called said that he spoke to Byron Beatty at EA, and apparently he said in 5 or 6 years' time Battlefield is going to be annual. If anyone from EA is listening to this, don't do that. Do not do that.
Yeah.
With Patcher, like, I can't take anything he says seriously anymore. I don't even know.
The only reason we covered it, for the people that are listening, is because he specifically said that he spoke to Byron Beatty. If it was a prediction that it's going to be an annual release, I would have ignored it. But the fact that he said that he spoke to them is quite concerning, to be honest. I mean, if he's not lying through his teeth, but if anyone from EA is listening, do not do that, because it will just
until Battlefield 6 sells 100 million copies, and it's not even 100 million players in the Battle Royale, and then they're like, we're going to release it every 6 months now.
Yeah, imagine. Damn.
we got to start to wind down, but before we do, we will get to what we like to get to for the stories that deserve to be touched on quickly, the bite-sized bits. We have a number of them, and we kind of have to pick and choose. Because one of them I wanted to get to on the main show, couldn't, and that's the rumor from Moore's Law is Dead that the PlayStation 6 handheld will be dockable, kind of chasing the Switch trend. My thought is, because I only want to spend like 30, 45 seconds on these, is I wonder if it would cannibalize, if it happens, and they're planning on it and it does, will it cannibalize standard PS6 sales when the time comes?
I would say I wouldn't even talk about this at the moment. Give it another year, and then we'll talk about it, because I obviously, like, I don't want to disclaim anyone's rumors, but we I'm trying to
claim it. Yeah, we're locked in right now.
Let's wait. Because like, what I will say is, like, with the PS5 Pro, for example, is that a lot of that stuff wasn't locked in until 18 months before release. Certain people gained credibility for, leaking that direct information only because it was sent to the developers. So what happened with the PS5 Pro when all of the actual, all of the leaks came out is that 24 hours before it was sent to all third-party developers. So people gained credibility from that. So I wouldn't take such early information as fact until, probably sometime next year. Because, like you said, Mike, like, to me as well, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because it probably would cannibalize the PS6. So I don't know. I'll just wait, and we'll see where we end up.
Starfield DLC continues to be teased. Grant, are we ever going to actually see this?
No, man. I mean, we can do this one in like 30 seconds. So there was like a developer spotlight. Tim Lamb, 20-year veteran of Bethesda, came out and said, talking about his career and where it's gone and where it's going. And he was talking about Starfield, saying how they've got all this and that in the works this year, like loads of community-led stuff and surprises and new features. Then he was like, new story DLC. But I can't talk about it now. It's like, well, what's new? Like last year we had Todd Howard saying they're making a second expansion. Earlier on this year, we had Bethesda saying, oh, hold on, we've got an announcement coming later this year. They've had multiple chances to do it. They haven't done it. We don't even know what it looks like, what its name is, where it's coming. We were promised one major expansion every year. We knew about Shattered Space before the game comes out. It's a year since we had Shattered Space. We know nothing about the second expansion. So, I mean, at this point, who cares? Who's even playing Starfield anymore? No one.
No, man. Nothing. Give me a date. Like, just talking about this stuff. Like, give me a date. Like, yeah,
just a name.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
Next, no less than 7 games have been delayed thanks to Silksong's release on September 4th. We have Baby Steps delayed, Demon School delayed. A lot of indie titles, which is smart, because in the indie space, Silksong will dominate. There's no point of releasing. And last thing we'll get to as we wind down, Tom McKay's last day in the Kingdom Come Deliverance booth had kicked off speculation. Grant, again, you love Tom McKay. You love that series.
I love this guy, man. Yeah,
Do you think he's done with Kingdom Come, or will he return later on?
Well, this is the thing. So they said, obviously, he's done with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2's DLCs. There's one more coming out towards the end of the year if they stick to the roadmap. They just released the second one. The second one had like a trailer drop for it, opening night live, which is the Legacy of the Forge. And the last one is like some really spooky, like there's some outbreak or something in the world of Kingdom Come, and it's something to do with the mental asylum or something. I don't know, don't quote me. But it was just him walking into a room surrounded by the whole team at Warhorse, round of applause. He gives a speech. He's been 9 years as Henry Skalitz. And, they didn't do this when the last game wrapped, but it was like, had an air of finality to it. And people are like, is he done? Like, is that it? Are we finished now? Because you got to imagine if they're just going to roll up into Kingdom Come Deliverance 3, But then if you look at how the game development cycle works, voice acting is actually quite later on. So it makes sense if they're going to make a third game, he would not be needed for a while. So he's probably going to go off and enjoy doing something else in his career. He's going to be sought after now. He's, that's up for Game of the Year easily. So he's going to be sought after. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Like, I can absolutely see there being a Kingdom Come Deliverance 3, but I don't think it's going to be coming for several years yet. So I think it's bye for now, but I think he'll be back. He said as long as they want him, he'll be there. So,
I mean, you would be though, right?
Yeah, man, exactly. Even though the first Kingdom Come game sold millions of copies and it was like a huge thing, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is what put him on the map. And that put him on socials. Like, he wasn't even on social media before Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. We delivered his first ever interview that he'd ever done.
I'm pretty sure it's our most popular.
It is number
video
one watch video
on our channel. Our number one watch video.
It was confirmed by the man himself when I met him at the BAFTAs again. He said it was the first ever interview he did in the world for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. So it was an Insider Gaming premiere exclusive.
You hear that, other companies and studios?
Yeah, man.
We can grow your actor's brand,
bro. That's what we do.
Literally, they said, can you? And the PR guys were like, oh, make sure you tag him in socials and stuff because he's just made them, and you want people to follow him and stuff. And I'm like, that's crazy, man. So, but yeah, good, all the best to him and see where it goes from here. But I fully expect to see Henry Scarlett's back in the next 5 or 6 years.
And with that, it is time to say goodbye. Of course, you can follow Insider Gaming on Twitter at Insider Gaming IG, Blue Sky Insider-Gaming.com, YouTube at Insider_Gaming. If you're not watching us on there right now, you can find me at Mike Straw Media, AP at The Weekly Wrap Up, Grant at Newkov _, not understore, and Tom, look for the red snowmobile. He doesn't need your follows unless you want to go troll him about being so unprofessional while playing Balatro during a work function. Boom.
But I got double blueprint, man.
I know, dude. I probably would have lost my mind too. I would have lost my I can't get blueprint to save me in a long run later on. It just never wants to come up my way. Anyway, AP, you know what to do. Take it away.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this week's show. Smash the like button on your way out. Feel free to subscribe, just like Mike said. And for Grant, Mike, and Tom, I am, of course, your host with the most A to the P, Albert Perkins, and we will see you on the inside. Boom!